Let me know when it's up.
So,
That's what's up. What's going on, Baltimore? What's up, Israel? Israelite School of UPK started out of 1 West, Salakia. Understand? What's going on, Baltimore? What's up, Israel? Turn that down. A little bit late, you understand? Look, there's a lot going on out here, man. We're going to get into the history of why these things are going on. You understand? Why the Haitians couldn't come into the country, man? Why did they run the Haitians down with horses, but the Asians, they can come in. The Europeans can come. The Afghans, they all can come in, but the Haitians, they can't come. People that look like us can't come. The Hispanics, they can't come. Because the country was never built for us to flourish as a people. As an individual, you can make some money and become rich. You can do that. But without your people, without the protection and fortitude of your people, you'll never have peace. Because within one generation, all of that success that you thought you had will be gone. Our sons and daughters won't be able to take that success and move it on to generational wealth,
right?
Because our lands get taken. I mean, most of the cities that we built are under a lake right now. I mean, some of the lakes we go to, some of the highways we drive over are crime scenes, man, where they just took our land, hung us, lynched us, burned us, destroyed us. There's many cities that this happened to. And there's a nation on this earth that always does these things to us. And then they'll tell us, look, pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You understand? Pick yourself up. Stop blaming other people for your problems. You're killing each other. You know, it's well known that in America, if you are disenfranchised without a real way to earn a living, you tend to fall into criminality and gangs, and that's what happens. This is why the Afghans were given $10 million when they came into the country. They were given Airbnbs. They were trained to be able to learn the culture and the language so that they could thrive in America, because outside of that, you're not going to thrive. You're going to gang together in whatever community you're at and prey on each other. That's what the Irish did. That's what the so-called white Jew did. You know?
Right.
And that's what, in America, there's no real empathy. So the only thing you can do is go into yourself and engage into criminality. If you're the race that's disenfranchised, then that's what happens. That's why black people are. That's why we're out here going crazy with each other, man, and hating each other. Why? Because America was told to hate us. We were told to hate everything black and everything about ourselves, and everything about ourselves is ignorant. We should change it. We should move away from the places that we were born. We spend our whole lives trying to get out of the hood, while Asians are spending their lives trying to get into the hood. Asians go into the hood and become prosperous, while we become criminals and drug dealers and everything else under the sun, man. We going to explain why the hell this happens, why this goes on, and we're going to start explaining why there's a nation on this earth, man, and the Bible says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and the people that are in control of the earth are wicked. They do wicked things. They dream of doing wicked things. They can't sleep unless they're doing something wicked to harm or to hurt a group of people, man. Chiefly us. Chiefly us. All right, we won't go through why this happens because we're a little late. We're gonna go through it kind of fast. You understand? Am I in the center? Here or off a little bit? I look like I'm off
a little bit.
Which way?
Go to your right.
Right a little bit.
Now
I'm centered now. All right. So let's go in with the presentation. We're going to talk about where this wicked nation comes from. This devil. You understand?
The origin of the wicked, the spirit of the Caucasian.
You can move on.
Cain and Abel, biblical rivalry.
Cain and Abel. That's where we're going to start at, man. So we can understand that this rivalry between white America, black and Hispanic America, it's spiritual, it's biblical. This is a rivalry that happened from the beginning of time. These evil ones, man, this wicked devil spirit was on the earth before they were fully manifested in the flesh that you see them in today. They're unlike any other human being. They don't look like any other human being. They have a mark set upon them. But we're going to read about it. Go ahead, brother.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 3. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought a fruit of the ground, an offering unto the Lord.
So Cain brought an offering unto the Lord. We know about this. The Lord didn't ask for no goddamn veggies, man. The Lord wanted a blood sacrifice. Cain did not provide the Lord with a blood sacrifice. You understand? How do we know that's what the Lord wanted? Because it's in his laws. And he taught Adam his laws. The Lord taught Adam. Adam taught his sons. All right? And they're bringing an offering unto the Lord. A burnt offering, and we know that according to God's law, he wants a blood sacrifice. Read on, brother.
Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof.
All right, so Abel brought what the Lord wanted, that blood sacrifice, man. The lamb, the blood of a lamb, an unblemished lamb. He brought the best for the Lord, man. Abel was obedient. That's what the Lord requires, obedience, man. Read on. We'll go through it kind of quick.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
All right. Make sure that it keeps up with the presentation. All right.
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Cain was wroth because the Lord didn't have respect unto what he did. The Lord wanted what he wanted. But of course, Cain, being the selfish spirit he is, the selfish soul he is, he can't see that God's needs should come before his. God's wants should come before his, that a sacrifice needed to be made. But this spirit is unable to make a sacrifice. You understand? This spirit is a spirit that would never allow you to have 40 acres in a mule. You understand? He can't do it. He can't do it. He can only see what he wants. Can't see what anybody else wants or what anybody else needs. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Read on.
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
Oh, this is pretty much straightforward. The Lord is saying, look, your countenance is falling. You angry, you should be angry at your damn self. You understand? You knew what I required, the sacrifice that I required. You didn't do that. You did what the hell you wanted to do. This is that spirit. That spirit is only obsessed with its own greed. This is the spirit of the people we go and work for every goddamn day. I mean, the American system of work and reward is unreal. I'm going to go through it real quickly. It's pretty much like this. The people that are on the low end get, of course, the lowest pay. The people on the middle half, they have to make sure that the people at the bottom get the lowest pay so that they can get a little higher pay. They have to come up with ways of ingenuity to make sure that you don't get overtime, but you produce overtime work. These are the overseers, the people that make for goddamn sure that the people at the top get what they need out of the people at the bottom. Why? It's a way to rob the poor so that the people at the top can have more. That's the American business model. And that's in every industry you go. It just doesn't matter. The people who supervise you are not there to supervise you so that you can be great and they can be great. They're there to manage your time and manage the company's resources so that you don't get those resources. That's at every level of government, every level of business, man. They come up with ways to make sure that this company gets everything out of you for less. That's the American way. It's as American as apple pie. All right? Read on, brother.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
That means he murdered him. This is the progenitor of the homicide. This is him, the grandfather of the murder. You understand? This is that spirit. This is where it comes from, man. Out of pure utter. And look, Cain had nothing to do with Abel had nothing to do with the situation, but just because of the jealousy of Cain, unable to blame himself or see any fault in himself, he had to blame somebody. Well, if you wouldn't have did what he said, you understand? Maybe he would have accepted my offer. Now, this is a spirit of murder, man. This came about from this particular spirit of greed and sedition and lies. And he's also the progenitor of lies, and we're going to see in a second. Read on.
Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
How he know not? He just slew him. He just murdered him. He's also the father of lies. You understand? This is the people we deal with on a daily basis, man. And I'm not saying an individual people. I'm talking about a nation. Right. This is a nation of people, and it acts as a nation, as we act as a nation. We're not individuals. You know, forget what your preacher talk about mind your business. You understand? You don't judge me. That's not what the Bible says, man. We live and die and exist as a nation, man. We suffer as a nation. You can't get out of it with riches, man. You can't.
Right.
Again, this is the father of lies, the progenitor of murder. We come across two attributes of this nation. Read on.
Verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Verse 11, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Good night. You hear what it just said? It said, you are cursed from the earth because your brother's blood cries out to me from under the ground. You are cursed from that earth. And it's easy to see today. This is why we eat so much GMOs and so much vaccine and hormones in our foods. This is why we eat a lot of mass. There's no real actual nutrition even in the vegetables we eat. They said the carrot from 50 years ago was about that long. It was about that long and about that fat. And look, it had 3 times the amount of vitamin C as the big, long, gigantic orange carrots we have today. A carrot wasn't even orange 50 years ago. Look this up, man. It had 3 times the amount of vitamin C in that little carrot than the carrot that they designed and grew and modified it that we have today. So what are we doing? Eating a lot of mass. That's why our bodies don't function right, man.
Right.
Because the one that's in control of the earth is trying to take dominion of the food because he understands it's a resource that everybody needs. Just a short couple of years ago, it was black people on homesteads and small farms that fed the entire United States. They took that land. They created business models through the government to take that land from black people, to deny black people funding and loans, and quick to foreclose when loans were not immediately refunded. This is that same spirit.
Right.
And he took over the land and he mechanized it. He put all of the animals together in a facility where diseases went rampant. So he created vaccines and to shoot them up, and then hormones to get them fat and push them off to market quickly. Why? So that he could benefit off of the quickness to get them to an age of slaughter where he didn't have to keep feeding them year after year. So he could get the exact amount of money and profit out of that animal, out of that resource, the same way he used to get it out of us as a slave.
Right.
The same way he gets it out of us as an employee. The same way we just went over. You understand? You read on, brother.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
Look, the ground will not yield her strength to these people, man. They own all the farms. What happened when COVID hit? Boom! Instant food shortage. Why? Because the big factories shut down because people and animals couldn't be in close confines. A cow is not even meant to eat grain. It's meant to graze on a field. It is not meant to eat animal products. It is a herbivore. It is supposed to eat grass, Bermuda grass, plantain grass, any kind of grass. It's not created or made to eat green. But this devil put them all in a facility, mapped out exactly the amount of grain it would take to fatten them up, each cow within a year, and he made them stand in one place and just eat. And he flushed all the manure. Matter of fact, he drained out all the manure into a pool where the people that live downhill, that pool would evaporate, that pool of dung and poop and disgusting foul excrement, and it would just rain and flow downhill on people's goddamn heads. Look up people in Alabama on these mechanized farms that live close to these mechanized farms. They have actual poop storms, man. Because this devil doesn't understand that manure belongs out in the field. When you take the nutrients from the ground, you have to replace it. Nature has a cycle. The cows are supposed to be in the land. As a matter of fact, we had deer, elk, moose, and buffalo, bison that went across the plains of America and ate all of that grass. They mowed it. That's why it wasn't this high.
Right.
They mowed it. They said it was herds of buffalo that when they would walk in America, the ground would shake like it was an earthquake. It was that many. Because of the long plains and prairies that America had. Well, they killed all the bison. They murdered all the bison. And they got all these beef cattle that they brung from Europe. They not eating the grass.
Right.
You understand? Because all of them locked up in factories. You know, we were utilizing the land. When black people had farms, we were utilizing the land. We couldn't get chemicals and all of this stuff. We had to utilize what nature gave us, man. And we fed the whole entire United States of America with small homesteads and small farms. But he mechanized it, poured all the nutrients out of the land, everything dry, everything burning. You can look in Florida right now, everything is burning, everything. That's the price for removing everything from out of the ground and not putting anything back.
Right.
That's the selfishness of this spirit, this thing, this devil. We can go ahead, brother.
A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
A fugitive and a vagabond, these are curses for the people that rule the earth right now. Well, how can you be a vagabond if you rule the earth? Because a vagabond doesn't have a home.
Right.
Europe is not his home. He's not a European, man. He doesn't come from Europe. He took Europe. He took Europe by pillaging, raping, via barbarism, the murder he learned from murdering his own brother. That's how he took Europe. Oh, that's also how he took Australia. That's also how he took America. God damn. Is there a place with Greenland, Iceland? Oh, he went there and murdered the Inuit and Eskimos. Has this devil gone anywhere on the earth and not mass murder? Oh, King Leopold of Belgium went to the Congo and cut off hands and cut off feet and murdered and killed and destroyed. God damn, it ain't one continent where these people have been that they have not caused a genocide. Antarctica. They went to Antarctica and didn't murder anybody. Anybody know why? There wasn't no goddamn people there, man. It's cold. It's a wasteland. There's no people there. That's the only way. The only way this devil does not cause a genocide is if there's no people already there. You understand? You understand? You get the drift. Where we at? It's almost.
Verse 13.
Go ahead.
And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Oh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. These people never want to take responsibility for nothing. Black people in America always have to forget. We always have to forget what happened to us. The people that murdered us, burned our cities, flooded our cities with lakes, built roads over our cities, shot us in the back, create laws to make sure we stay in perpetual poverty. They are still alive, man. How can we move on and move on from this and that if the people that do these things to us are still alive?
Right.
It wasn't a long time ago. It wasn't. Good night. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
Hey, look, this thing cannot accept or take any kind of responsibility or punishment. It will go up in a shopping center, it will run up in a school, kill everybody, and then blow his own brains out. You understand? It cannot accept being guilty. But you're guilty. You're guilty. You understand? Of the crimes against this people, against God's people, man. And you know what? I don't believe it will ever, under any situation, take responsibility for it, ever. And that's why the Bible is so cruel as to what needs to happen to this spirit, to these people. That's why. That's why nobody should feel bad about the things it says that are going to happen to this people. All right? Come on, we're going into the history of why these people do what the hell they do, man. You understand? Listen up. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Verse 14. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
You understand how this thing don't want to die? You know, people will kill me, but you had no problem slaying your brother. Everybody else on earth is just abstract to this spirit. Black people could not, during slavery, would just put dogs on us, let the dogs eat us, cut off our genitals, care nothing, absolutely nothing about how would it affect our mental state.
Right.
And how it would affect us for years and years to come, man. Gave no thought to our murder. Sat there, man, these people sat there and shot us up with syphilis, man, and just watched us die and suffer and say, oh, we giving you something for bad blood to help you. Just shot us up with syphilis, man. And then say they was helping us, but shooting us up with placebos, which is water, nothing. And just watching the symptoms and watching us die from syphilis for no other reason is just to document the symptoms. This is this people, man. We don't know these people. We don't know. Our parents haven't prepared us for what the hell we got to deal with this people, man. We keep thinking they are goddamn friends because ain't nobody tell us that spiritually they are our enemies. Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Set a mark upon him. He don't look like any other human. That mark was his blood showing forth through his skin. That's why they call him a redneck. Because when he was whipping us and beating us to death with whips and torturing us, his neck would turn red when he'd get angry. That's how we know him. That's how he's marked. He's unlike any other human being on earth. Read on.
Verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden.
On the east of Eden. He's not a European. He's not a European. Comes from the goddamn Caucasus Mountains where he walked on all fours and ate raw meat. You understand? This thing ain't no European. Europeans were dark-skinned people. And even archaeology will tell you this. Look up Ipswich, Maine. Look up Ipswich, Maine. They found a black man who was the lord of the house in Ipswich, all the way up in Europe. But they tell you Europe was always white.
Right.
That's a lie. That thing ain't come from Europe, man. Go ahead, brother.
Jacob and Esau.
We won't go to Jacob and Esau. Now, this is the physical manifestation of this spirit. This is when it manifested itself in the flesh. You had Cain and Abel. Now you got these two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the progenitor of the black races. The black race. Esau is the progenitor of the white race. And we're going to find out spiritually why Esau always wants to murder Jacob. Even though, and I always wonder, why do they hate us so much? Like, why do the police look at me with them cold steel blue eyes when they stop me? What have I done? I haven't done anything, because I didn't understand then that this is spiritual. This is something deep and embedded in them. This is a hatred that can't be cleansed by love and understanding. It ain't going to happen. We've been trying that for 400 years. Begging and nonviolent and sitting down and bowing down and dancing and jigging. And what more can we do? God damn. Come on, bro.
Jacob and Esau, Genesis chapter 25, verse 22.
Come on, give it to me.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Look, both of the babies, Rebecca got twins in her stomach, man. These babies are fighting in her stomach before they're even born. She like, if this is a blessing for me to have these children, because this sister was barren. She was barren, and now here she is having two children that will become two different nations, two different people, but they're fighting already. This is the spirit. This is why this is spiritual. Read on, brother.
Verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb.
Two what?
Two nations are in thy womb.
Two nations are in thy womb. This is talking about two different races of people. Back then, nations were different people. You didn't have a nation where you had all people that come together. That's a Babylonian concept. That came a little bit later. The Lord hated it, because the Lord understood that if everybody comes together, the Lord loses. Why? Because Jacob always follows Esau. into whatever depravity Esau goes into until we find the strength to not. There are men who will not bow, who will not dance a jig, who will not scrape. There are men who would rather be poor, who would rather deal with the consequences. There are men like that, man. There are men that are strong beyond belief. You understand? Read on, brother.
And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Two manner of people, man. Two different people. Two different people, man. People that act very different. Do we not act very different from Caucasians? Is our culture, our way of living different? Oh yeah. We think they crazy for bungee jumping, for going out in the woods and hanging out with bears. You understand? And go out in the who was that cat that goddamn got killed messing around with dangerous animals? Who was the Australian cat that always talking about him coming up on the left of the bear and Australian cat? What's his name, man? He got stung by a stingray.
Stingray,
yeah. God, Doug, what is his name? Earl. What's his name? Irving. Steve Irving. Was it? Yeah, Steve Irving. Irving? I don't know, something, man. He was a devil. Look, and this devil, he would go in every animal's space.
Right.
He would go in there with a jaguar. He would go down in the Amazon and pet a jaguar's cub. Do any goddamn thing, man. Steve Irwin. Until they caught up with him and he ended up getting killed. But we would think that would be insane. I ain't fitting to swim with no sharks.
Right.
I ain't fitting. Why would I do that? They kill. I can observe them from up on the mountain and just have some binoculars and look at them. I ain't got to jump swim with them. I ain't fit to do that because we're different. We're a different manner of people, man. We have different ways, different languages. We understand and comprehend differently, man. You know, they make a big deal out of these IQ tests and all of that, trying to say black people are not as smart. Bull crap. We think differently than they do. We have an imagination that we talk different. We talk in slang. You understand? We're different. We think different.
Right.
And if we had our own society and community, we would be on top. And we would design that society and community to benefit the way we think instead of the way they think. How can the person that create the test not be better at the test? Like, we don't think.
Right.
Come on, brother, go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
The one people shall be stronger than the other people. You understand? We're the best at sports. We're the best. We're the strongest. That's evident. These are the attributes that the Lord has laid down for this people in this nation. And there's more to prove this point. Read on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Mm-hmm.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Read on.
First came out red. Genesis chapter 25, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
The first came out red, all over like an hairy garment.
Mm-hmm.
And they called his name Esau.
So the first one, he came out red like a hairy garment. We know it's red. We know whose blood comes forth through the skin. This is the same curse that happened back with Cain and Abel. This is that curse coming into fruition. This is it. This is this devil in the flesh, this red man, this red dragon that he's called later on in Revelations, man. The Bible describes him in detail, but it doesn't describe Jacob. Why? Because Jacob looked like everybody else. There was nothing special about the way Jacob looked. It only describes Esau. He was red all over like a hairy garment. This thing is hairy. It's red. This don't look like any other human being we've ever seen. Rebecca knew that this thing is not my child and is not of my nation. Excuse me, it was her child, but this thing is not of my nation. Rebecca knew that. And she took heed when she went to the seer that said the younger shall serve the elder. Usually in a family, the elder was in charge. The elder, Esau is the elder. But in this case, the Lord is very specific. He says the elder shall serve the younger. This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented. And the sister Rebecca is going to make sure this happens because she knows that Esau is something off about this cat. Something off about him. Read on, brother.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out. After that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
That's very important. His hand took hold on Esau's heel. Keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to get back to that. Go ahead, brother.
And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Go ahead.
Cunning hunter, Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Oh, man. It said Esau is a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Do I need to explain this? Is this something I need to explain? Right now, what's her name? Gabby Patino? Gabby Patino. Her boyfriend was brutal. He beat her and murdered her. And then he skipped right poof, right up into the mountains, right, out in the wilderness. Can't nobody find him. Come on, man. Can't nobody find this cat out in the wilderness. Because these are the strengths of these people, man. They will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to Africa and kill a lion. It doesn't matter. Like, they have something inside them. They get an adrenaline rush off of killing. Like when we see things, when we see the animals running in Africa, it's beautiful. It's herds of animals, and you see the feathers from the ostriches, and the long necks of the giraffes, and the beautiful colors, and you see nature, and you say, what you say, my thumb? You say, damn, that's beautiful. Look at God's work.
Right.
Not this devil. The only time that a giraffe is beautiful is when it's dead. It's not beautiful when it's alive. So look, let me try to explain it like this, because we don't know these people. We don't really take a minute to psychoanalyze these people, man. Why do they have taxidermy?
Right.
What's the point of having a dead animal on your wall so you can relive taking its life. That's the point. The only way the Lord's work can mean anything and be beautiful is when it's destroyed, when it's dead, when it's lifeless, when it's been taken and twisted, when it's on your wall and you're able to conquer it. That's this people. There are people of the field. And Esau is a man of the field. It's difficult to explain, man. He's a man of the field. And it's not beautiful until he controls it, till he kills it, till he masters it. You understand? He's not okay until black people are begging. When black people are begging, this is why when somebody gets murdered and we feel that brotherhood inside of us, man, and we say, you won't come together. No, that's wrong. That's wrong what they did to that brother. They will brutalize us more. You see more brothers being murdered.
Right.
It wasn't 3 days after George Floyd was murdered to other brothers was murdered. And around that time, they was just killing brothers like crazy. One brother, I meant to shoot him with my taser. I made a mistake and shot him with my gun. Like, they was going absolutely nuts, murdering brothers. The reason why is that you don't tell me not to freaking murder you. We might get shut down on YouTube. I ain't gonna go no further. We might get shut down. So, you know. All right, come on.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Meaning this, we don't need to go out and challenge nature. We already know that we have dominion. We need to maintain it. We don't need to go out there and prove our dominion by destroying it. Right now, the earth is fighting back. Look, this oppressor have taken all the riches out of the earth and given nothing back, put nothing back. The greed is insatiable. This is why we got wildfires in one state and floods in another, mudstorms in another. We all know why it's happening. Greed. We don't have to ride around in cars that use gas and oil. We can ride around in cars that use the energy of the sun. They use electrical energy, man. The only reason why we're riding around in cars that use fossil fuel, which is an exhaustible fuel and gives off carbon, which is absolutely fundamentally destructive to the earth that we live on. Why? So that this greedy, monstrous bastard can get paid. Read on, brother.
Verse 28, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison.
Come on.
But Rebekah loved Jacob. And
Rebekah had some sense. She understood that, man, this cat is not my people. She loved Jacob because why? She inquired of the Lord. She went and she asked the Lord, man, look, if this supposed to be a happy time, why are they fighting in the womb? And the Lord told her what needed to happen. That the younger one needed to take precedence. That the Lord chose Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Esau. Esau did not need to have that birthright because why? He would have already destroyed the earth if he had that birthright. Just like he's destroying it right now. He hates anything that comes from God. He hates nature. Read on, brother.
Red pottage, Genesis chapter 25, verse 29.
Right.
And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Yeah. Edom. Red, which means wasted away. Look, because he's unnatural. He's against nature. The Lord said, don't eat the blood. Esau knew not to eat the blood. But Esau wanted the blood. He craved the blood. Because he does not want to do what God says. He is anti-God, anti-Christ. And that's the whole point. This is the nation that spreads their evil around the earth. They are the antichrist, man. He eats that raw meat. He eats it today. He'll shoot a deer in the wilderness, go pull a heart right out of the chest, and just take a bite out of it. It's disgusting, man. Read on, we got more.
Birthright, Genesis 25 and 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Hey, look, Jacob didn't do nothing wrong here. The Lord had already given him the birthright. He said, the younger shall be stronger than the elder. This is what the Lord said, man. Look, look, a lot of people say, oh, he usurped him or he did something wrong. He did not. The Lord had already blessed him with the birthright. The Lord is taking this nation with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Esau. You know, Isaac loved Esau because he'd go out in the woods and kill an animal and roast it up out there in the field, man, because he could do that. He wasn't thinking logically, but Rebecca was, because Rebecca understood and knew that this was not her people, and that birthright needed to go to Jake. And Jake went and did what he had to do to get that birthright. He did what the Lord said to do. That's why to this day you can't worry about what the hell people are telling you. You do what the Lord tell you to do. Don't eat that pork. You understand? Don't eat no goddamn lobsters and sea roaches and all of that type of nonsense, man. Do what the Lord told you to do and stand with it and stand by it. That's what Jake did. The Lord said that Jake would be the strongest. He would take the family lineage. He would be the nation that the Lord loved. And he went with that, man. Read on, brother.
Jacob and Esau, Genesis chapter 27, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. Verse 2. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Verse 3, now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison.
All right, so Esau was there. This is at the time of Isaac's death. Esau's coming in to try to get his blessing, and Isaac Isaac, who is the father, is telling him to go out in the field, hunt down some of that venison I like, come back, and I'm fitting to bless you. Understand? All of this is ordained by the Lord. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 4, and to make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. Verse 5, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. Verse 6, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob, her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 goat kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth.
Hey, look, so Rebekah heard, what was going down, what Isaac was about to do with Esau and bless him because he's getting old. You know what I'm saying? So Rebekah told Jacob, you go out to the flock and you grab an animal and you bring it in and we're going to dress it up and we're going to take it in there to your father and you get that blessing. Because that's what had to be done. Because that's what the Lord wanted to be done. Don't believe or listen to your stupid pastor. Listen to the Lord. The Lord had already blessed Jacob with that blessing. Jacob just needed to go take it. Because if he didn't, the entire human race would be doomed to have this thing, this nation, this uncaring, unempathetic thing rule the earth forever.
Right.
Eventually he would destroy it. The ozone is not getting better. The ground, the soil is eroding because he won't put no nutrients back into it. Everything is burning. The weather is getting worse every goddamn year because he's not a good steward of the earth. He only cares about his own greed. He don't even give a damn about the generations that come after. Only his rulership. He'll march into the White House and tear every goddamn thing down if he doesn't get what he wants.
Right.
Immediately. This is that spirit. This is that spirit that must be defeated. And this is what Jacob did, man. Read on.
Verse 10, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death.
Go on.
Esau, a hairy man, Genesis 27:11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver.
So Jake is, having a little doubts. He said, wait a minute. If I go up in there with this venison, my father is going to feel me because I don't sound like, I don't sound like my brother Esau, and he's going to find out that, and he's going to think we trying to usurp him. But this is from the Lord. This is from the Lord. The Lord said that birthright belonged to Jacob, even though he is the younger. This was ordained by the Most High himself. Read on.
And I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. Verse 13, and his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse.
God damn, that's so important. The mother said, let the curse fall on me. That's how desperate the situation is. Rebecca, in her genius, this sister knew and understood that this bastard Esau is not of my nation and that he will destroy everything. He is not of God. It's him who wants to destroy the beauty and the nature of God, man. He is the Antichrist. She understood that everything was at stake. Rebecca was a serious sister, man. Read on.
Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat such as his father loved.
Mm-hmm.
And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
Read.
And she put the skins of kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooths of his neck.
So she's trying to make Jacob feel and look and smell like Esau. Of course, you know how these people smell. You know how they smell. You know, we don't need to go over that. They smell like the wilderness that they come out of. It comes out of their pores. They smell different from us. It is what it is. All right? So she's dressing him to feel and smell like his brother Esau. All right? Read on, brother.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
I have done according to thou bidest me. Arise, and I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hand. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am.
So he's feeling Jake, because Jake don't immediately sound or smell like this Neanderthal Esau. But the Lord made for damn sure that Jake got this blessing. Am I in the center?
Come.
He made for damn sure. To my left?
You're right. Right there.
Okay, he made for goddamn sure that Jake is going to get this blessing. You understand? Read on.
And he said, Bring it near me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may be blessed. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son.
So it's on now. He's about to bless Jacob. This is the blessing that the Lord bestowed upon Jacob. Read on.
And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of the raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let the people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
God damn. So remember that Jacob is the progenitor of the black race, man. And these are the blessings that were bestowed upon us, the promises of God, man. These were the blessings that we had. We deserve. You know, but we turned on the Most High, and the Most High had to punish us, and that's going to be in the blessings of Esau, because Esau is also going to get a blessing here, and this is going to make it so clear to us. We're going to read the blessings that Isaac gave to his son Esau. Because Esau was so distraught, he just could not live with or stand not being blessed, even though he didn't give a damn about his family lineage. Read on, brother.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out of the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
All right, so Esau's coming into his father right now with his food and everything, thinking he gonna get this blessing, but he's already given that blessing to Jacob. Isaac has already given his blessing to his son, his second son Jacob. So this cannot be taken back. This is done. This is a done deal. Read on.
And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thou mayest bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
Good night. Go ahead.
And said unto his father, Bless me, even me also of my father.
So now, this white man, this Esau, this nation that's unlike his brother, knew and understood that he was beaten. He had been taken. His birthright was given to his brother rightfully, because he never even gave a damn about his birthright. But now, of course, being the spirit that he is, he could not stand the fact that his brother would be blessed and he would not. He would have to take the consequences, and he would have to be the slave to his brother. So now he's going to beg his father with tears running down his eyes like a child, because he can't stand any consequences. This is the same spirit as Cain, the exact same murderous spirit. Read on, brother.
And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, It is not rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all thy brethren have I given to him for servants. and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
That's right. So that means that Jacob, his ancestors, would rule the entire earth unabated. But now, Isaac is going to bless his son Esau because he loved Esau. And Esau played him. He played on his emotions and he played on his love for him because that's what this spirit does. He plays on our love. Do we ever understand why homeless white people come to black neighborhoods to beg for money? I mean, why wouldn't they go to rich white neighborhoods and ask their own people for some money? Don't you wonder that? Like, why are they all around Baltimore City begging and asking black people who have been disenfranchised, murdered by their ancestors,
Right.
land taken by their ancestors, the government destroying and mass incarcerating and giving black people no goddamn justice? Why do these white folks come to inner city black neighborhoods begging for $1? You know why? Because we have more empathy for them than their own people have. That's why. That's why they come to black neighborhoods. Quickly, let's get through this.
And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me, O my father.
Let's go to get these blessings and we're going to shut it down from there.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth,
Read on.
and of the dew of the heaven from above. And thy sword shall thou live, and by the sword shall thou live,
Good night. Read.
and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him.
Good night. So listen to that very carefully, man. Very carefully. This vagabond with nothing, his dwelling places shall be the fatness of the earth. But he doesn't have a home. He's a vagabond, a bum. But his dwelling places shall be the fatness of the earth. This thing is in everybody else's country at the top. He's at the top. Everything that he has accomplished by the sword. Period. Christianity was given to black people by the sword. It was given to Muslim people by the sword. It was given to the Chinese by the sword. Everything that this spirit has comes by the sword. That's it. The hordes of Rome, they took and they murdered and they pillaged. Everything that they have is by blood. There's nothing in America that did not come by blood. There's no city in America that did not rise except for by blood. Period. That's how we know that this bastard was Esau. All right. Let's what's the next slide?
Genesis 27, verse 34
What did that say?
to 41.
Go ahead.
We already went through that.
Go ahead.
The murderous hordes of Esau.
The murder, did we read 41?
We read it a lot. And Genesis chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Right. He hated Jacob because of the blessings that Jacob deserved. Jacob is the one, we are the nation that to save the earth. We won't use fossil fuels. We'll do what we need to do to save the people. We'll make sure that people in Africa are not starving with big bellies and ribs showing. We'll make sure that children in China are not working 15-hour days, man. We'll make sure that nobody in Jamaica, the children in Jamaica are being raped or being kidnapped. We are the only righteous nation that can possibly happen, and it comes out of the lineage of Jacob. With that, man, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the class over, and I'm going to say this, man. We don't know these goddamn people. Our parents, our grandparents did not tell us who the hell these people are, and we think we know who they are, but we need to do more research. The Bible is a history book. Look into it. You understand? Go through it. Any questions at all on that? No questions? With that, I'm going to turn the class over to Priest and Officer Mathum Shakaria. Let's get it shut down, Priest. Clap it up, clap it up.
Right. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. It means 10th in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashera. A tenth of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming Holy Convocation, we had the Feast of Dedication, which is November 28, 2021. If a reminder of Akium and Aquatium to check on all social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. We also have the Passover coming April the 15th, Friday, April the 15th, 2022. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, Ben of Israel, a Major Shabbat, a Major Barak, Yahweh Shimi Abishai Barakatah, Yahweh Shimi Abishai Barakatah, Major Batah, class dismissed.
The world got the picked up a bag.